In episode 2 of Shane Dawson's series, The Beautiful World of Jeffree Star, our host and fearful leader sets out to reveal the secrets of the beauty world. Although after a full hour of shaky cam surveillance, I still struggle to understand what those secrets are. Is it that every influencer overestimates their ability to cry convincingly on camera? Because that's actually the only thing that does come through, despite the camera work looking like the Blair Witch went shopping at Barney's. In what could have been a fascinating lesson on the cost of creating beauty products, their price markups, and the planning process for their advertising campaigns, in Shane's hands, the episode amounts to little more than a 55-minute home shopping presentation on the superior quality of Jeffree Star cosmetics and the annoying quality of Jeffree Star's personality. Throw in some poorly explained tears, Shane's perpetual, unprovoked insistence that his reactions are genuine, and the jade egg that I just pushed up my rectum, and I've got just about all the beauty secrets I can take. But I'm breaking them down just for you, so prep your skin for another salacious installment of Shane Dawson's docu-series in a clip breakdown. Hello television viewers, my name is Nick. Thank you so much for joining me once again on my channel for another installment of Clip Breakdown. This is the playlist where we dive into our favorite TV, movies, and other content on the web and say, ooh, by breaking it down into little baby clips that we can easily digest and say, this could have been better, and that gave me trauma. And mama, today we are going into episode 2 of Shane Dawson's Jeffree Star docu-series. You know I promised you we would be doing this whole thing, and some of you are into it. Oh, and if you're new to my channel, I would love to have you give this video a big thumbs up if you want to see even more clip breakdowns like this. But most importantly, if you're new to my channel, I would love to have you click that subscribe button right over here. That way you never miss new videos from me. I upload 2 new ones, so turn on notifications, and you'll always be the first to know when I got a new piece of chunked meat that I'm grilling up. Also, I've got merch available and a Patreon where you can access bonus episodes and exclusive monthly watch parties every month. Now let's just dive into it, because as we saw at the end of episode 1, which was titled after the series itself, Jeffree has proposed to Shane that they create a makeup collaboration on Jeffree Star cosmetics. This episode goes into the initial planning phase of all of that. If this whole series were condensed into a 2-hour movie, then I think you would probably see 10 minutes from episode 1 and then 15 to 20 minutes from this episode where it's like the planning. But let's just dive in and meet our friends right where they're at in Shane's home.
You're like trying to make me look bad. You're trying to show me up.
No, I think he's trying to show you the way to your plane, because that's the outfit of an airline pilot. Nobody make fun of Andrew just because he thought going to a business meeting meant dressing like a wedding photographer. We love Andrew. I'm not making fun of someone we like. God forbid. God forbid. Shane got these flowers from Venus et Fleur, and he's like, what am I supposed to do? Water these? No. You went on the website. The only thing you know about them is that you don't have to water them. Like, why are you playing dumb on the most basic level? It's too early in the video for me to get caught up in the flowers. Shane really thinks that he's getting into the nitty-gritty and disclosing a lot of tea, if you will, on the money side of the makeup industry.
I at least want like a lawyer percent, which is 5.
5%?
Yes,
What'd you do?
Oh, look everybody, it's Shane speaking in AAVE, proving there are some types of blackface you just can't wash off. They build it up like, oh, Jeffree's like, are you sure you want to film this first meeting? And I'm just like, you better try, because you never know what's gonna have usable audio or not in this piece. Like, I would be like, film everything just in case, God forbid, Andrew accidentally has the camera in his sweatshirt pocket for the whole scene. Every little part of this starts to feel a little choreographed for me. Like, you can tell that Shane and Andrew have told Jeffree, oh yeah, we're recording, we're on our way, because immediately Jeffree sends a voice note being like, I just pulled the Lamborghini in front of Star Studios and I'm wearing my diamond encrusted butt plug. Like, we get it, we hear you, you're rich. The theatrics of it are just a little too perfect for me to like ignore and be like, oh my God, can you believe he just happened to say that? Like, I can't believe it. Also, Shane is doing this weird thing where they stop to get like a Slurpee for Jeffree, and they keep flashing back to the first Jeffree Star series Shane did, The Secret World of Jeffree Star, where they went to a Slurpee place and got candy. Like, I'm like, why are we reminiscing about another series of vlogs that came out just a while ago? Why are they all so tightly connected? This is not Lord of the Rings. Anyway, have you guys ever had the golden pineapple flavored kombucha? I tell you, oh my God. Okay, so Shane and the names are really, I can't do it. Shane and Andrew arrive at Jeffree Star's building somewhere in California.
Good morning.
Hi!
hello.
I got you a Slurpee.
Is this for real?
Listen to this music. You would think Willy Wonka just stepped out of his chocolate factory. Basically, anytime Jeffree Star shows them another empty conference room in the valley. Also, you can sort of tell that Jeffree Star had a little bit of an opening speech planned for the camera because he has very little time to go off script and talk about Shane's Slurpee.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're probably wondering, Jeffree, where the f are we at?
He said, "Oh my God, that's so good. So you're probably wondering why I brought you here. No, you brought me here because it's your office building. You're probably wondering why I brought you this disgusting beverage mixture that's been melting in my car for 20 minutes. And the answer is to seem cute. If there's one thing that Jeffree Star hopes to get across in this scene, it's that business is not slowing down. We know because he makes sure to say it twice so that the camera gets a clean take.
It's 40,000 extra square feet.
It's like a soundstage.
I haven't slowed down. So if you look here,
So this is new too.
Yeah.
You got 2 new buildings?
yes, bitches, I'm not slowing down.
Know what else isn't slowing down? Those cars on the highway right behind us, blazing by. So maybe we can move this shoot indoors so we can get some footage in a quiet, controlled environment for once.
Hey, what do we do? Ah!
Mama, you tell me, this is your show. Why does Shane Dawson approach every day of shooting this docu-series as though Jeffree Star is throwing a surprise birthday party for him? I've seen people taking more initiative when they're dying in the desert of snake bites. I'm just kidding. Sometimes I just keep talking and that tends to naturally conjure images of death. So much of this series is Shane telling people that he needs to pee, which is not unrelatable. Like, that's my first move when I arrive at any new location, especially when I used to be a Diet Coke drinker, which is the other thing I really learned about Shane Dawson watching this. So no shame in that game, but I mean, I would edit it out. Not necessarily the sterling part of my brand that I want featured throughout the runtime of every video that I put out, but okay, what do I know?
Wait, really quick, is there a bathroom?
3 bathrooms. Yeah.
Mama, this is an office building. It needs at least 3 bathrooms. Why is that impressive? We're not in Jeffree's house anymore. There's a men's restroom, a women's restroom, and then a private single person one made for people to hide out in when Shane Dawson comes around to shoot another stupid video. We're now 7 minutes in to the episode, and this is the kind of stuff that we're focusing on.
Faculty.
And there's Braille.
Yeah. Hi, Braille. How are you?
That was such a hilarious comment on how the bathroom door had Braille on it. Don't Shane and Andrew think it's weird how there are like a lot of other people around and not one of them has even almost laughed at anything like they have? Like, they would have you think that this building is a Chuck E. Cheese being pumped full of nitrous oxide. Throughout this, I can't help but think, how would the tone of this change if Shane Dawson had a little bit more self-control on camera and was walking through this like he was the confident filmmaker? I think that would actually make this a better viewing experience, because then it would feel like Shane is our host, sort of like Anthony Bourdain, taking us on an adventure through a new experience. Instead, it feels like we're holding Shane's hand through a terrifying experience, which, like, there can be some of that. Let the emotion come through of like, I'm nervous to launch this product because I've never done it before. And it comes with all of this drama and what's gonna look like. Allow that to add color and texture to the story, but don't conflate it to be like, now I'm afraid of the unfinished office building. Ooh, what's going on? Like, what are we scared of now, baby? Anyway, they're completely thrilled by the office building's arcade, which, I mean, that is all cool. They're very impressed that Jeffree has like a storage facility that he just purchased for his additional business, Killer Merch. But before we get any further, here's a quick little montage of Andrew changing the camera's aperture.
Grown a lot since we've seen you.
Has it gotten?
Click, clack, patty, whack. Please clean up your audio track. That all rickety crickety sounds just like people's spines breaking while they bend over backwards trying to defend Shane during his acclaimed YouTube comeback. I need to get my nails done. My cuticles are literally taking over my whole hands. It's gonna look like I'm wearing rubber gloves made of skin in a few days.
I don't even have any more reactions because I'm numb at this point.
Good, then try shutting up for a few minutes. You think you're numb to these over-the-top reactions? I'm sitting here watching you completely lose your mind over what appears to be a construction site. So yeah, pretty much all of these awe-inspired, flabbergasted faces have lost their impact for me as well. Again, I'm not trying to dismiss Jeffree Star's accomplishments as like a cosmetics company owner, but like also it seems proportionate with what you would expect a $125 million valued business or whatever Jeffree Star was at the time to look like, you know? Like, it's not Jeffree Star's house. It's his warehouse. Anyway, it's fine to be impressed, but I just don't know why we're spending so much time being impressed by it.
People watch our videos, but I don't never made money selling things.
I mean, you were wearing your own t-shirt in the previous installment of this series, and I doubt you were just giving those away to fans for free. Also, wasn't your clothing sold at Hot Topic for a period of time? You show that in this episode as well. But we kind of just have to take Shane's word for it, because although he's demanding hard numbers from Jeffree Star's cosmetic company, he never once gives a number about how little money he made or just how financially taken advantage of he's been in past merch deals. It's just a narrative that he says with the sad boy eye. Ooh, that's a song. And that's the narrative that I'm living with when I'm singing with my sad boy eye. My sad boy eye. I hate the voice I'm using, and also, why would you be singing with an eye? That's for him to figure. I didn't write the song. But yeah, it's really, like, honestly, it's kind of insulting that Shane Dawson is like, I'm gonna ask the hard question. Shane Dawson asked the hard questions. How much money do you make, Jeffree Star, per palette? No, how much do you make per t-shirt? You're all impressed with how much he's gonna offer you for a t-shirt sale. I wanna know how much you were previously making. Otherwise, it could just all be for show. It's interesting how you're Barbara Walters when the camera's facing that way, but as soon as, you know, you get to offer up whatever information you want. It's not like there's a documentarian following Shane around and being like, we're gonna give you the scoop. Like, cause honestly, that's what The Chair was. And if you've seen my videos on The Chair, you know he didn't come across well in that at all. When he can't control the narrative, it's a mess. They talk about how Shane is always nervous that everything's gonna fail, so that's why he's super anxious about this whole deal. And to me, I'm just like, you know it's not gonna fail because you can put out anything with your face on it and people will buy it. And so can Jeffree Star. So when you combine those two things together, it's obviously gonna have some level of success that they can project. But Shane needs to carry this sort of anxious energy throughout the entire business meeting.
Nice to meet you.
Shane, this is Patrick. Did you guys meet?
Wait, everybody's like attractive here.
Oh my god.
Those two girls are sitting across from Shane and Jeffree, like, not from our perspective, but thank you. Everyone in this meeting is like, yes, I can see this client will be bringing that same level of professional maturity we've come to expect here at Jeffree Star Cosmetics. Hey, before we get started, has our company's founder gotten into any Snapchat beef that I should be aware of today? Okay, thanks. Again, there are nuggets of really interesting stuff here because obviously we all knew that there was a makeup collaboration that was going to be launched at the end of this series. That's kind of like the whole point. So it's fun to watch like the moments of conception for the names and how they decided on the look of all of it, but it's really buried in here. Like, it's really buried. And not in the masterful way that like other like Netflix documentary series would bury the best moments in a whole 6-hour thing. Like, they would have a lot of other elements like motion graphics explaining the background of things, bringing in expert testimonials to offer their perspective, doing reenactments or things like that. Not just literally like sitting in meetings. I'm tired of sitting in meetings.
Illumina TEA. How are you?
That just gave me, like, my ass just, like, opened.
Well, close it. And Andrew, don't pan down at his ass when he says that. It doesn't even make sense. What are you gonna, we're gonna see his open ass? This whole meeting could have been a weird, uncomfortable email. The most recent palette launch that Jeffree did before this was Blood Sugar, so he shows the profit he made off of that to give Shane an idea of what he could accomplish.
Yeah. It's nuts.
Okay, so we have a lot to live up to.
Yeah, but you're promoting this collaboration to an even larger audience, so your serious doubts come off as a little inauthentic. Let's recap. By this time in Shane's career, he had already won a film festival with a huge cash prize using a garbage movie thanks to the votes from his fans. Got an awful book on the New York Times bestsellers list because his fans bought it. And he makes easily tens of thousands of dollars a year from sponsorships. And he still wants to act like he doesn't know that his name adds value to a project. Mama, his name adds value to my YouTube videos, and I'm not even being nice to him. Jeffree Star also proposes that Shane comes on as a client for Killer Merch, which we all know now is where Shane got his merch distributed through. And then they start going into references to talk about packaging. And this is really the moment that I wanted to get out of this. It was the cost of goods conversation. I come from like the marketing world for certain beauty products, so I've sat in a lot of meetings for hair care and makeup companies things like this. I was already familiar with cost of goods. It's like what the cost of the actual physical product is that the person gets. So the cost of making the physical product, putting it in the box, and shipping it out to somebody, that's the cost of goods. So you obviously want the cost of goods to be a small percentage of the overall price so that you keep that profit margin high, and then all of that money is used to market the product, to grow the business, and to pay the employees. But while they're trying to talk about this, Shane adds in all these distracting jump cuts that are out of sequence, flashing backwards and forwards to them finding inspiration for shade names. So it's very jarring, and it feels like they're interrupting us just as they're about to say something interesting. Hey, how about some continuity? I'm just trying to figure out what's happening here in the main timeline of this episode, and the only way I can do that is by keeping track of the sweatshirt that Shane Dawson's wearing. Follow the Balenciaga! Again, here is a little nugget of information from Jeffree Star that I think he does a good job of explaining, and maybe they could have done a little graphic along with this, and then that could have been the whole movie.
You have to pay for the assembly. You have to pay for either air freight or shipping it by a boat, water, which is what most people do. Then you have to pay for the formula of the eyeshadows. Like this metallic has so much pearl in it to get it really soft and buttery.
Whoa.
So this is way more expensive than like a normal palette that it's like, oh, it's kind of chalky.
Nice. See how you just spent 17 seconds explaining to me what this whole episode was devoted to? I want to see a video editor cut down all of Shane's 6 hours of episodes into one 2-hour documentary. Because to me, I can see like fully formed sections of a well-structured story, but then they're just surrounded on all sides by noisy camera operation, frantic laughter, and false modesty. This is almost like the only part of the whole series where I thought like, okay, this is a secret. This is the one beauty secret they truly give us in the episode. And it's the only one they really can, which is like an approximate cost of goods for Jeffree Star's blood sugar palette. The product manager says, okay, yeah, so this product sells for $52 and our cost of goods is $20. I love how they're really quick to point out how that's like a high cost of goods, because to the average consumer, they're like, well, why am I paying $50 if it's only $20 to make? And from what I know about beauty, that is like on the higher end for a cost of goods. Like you normally want it to be no more than 40% of your selling price, but it depends on the product you're making. For makeup, the profit margins are traditionally very high, especially when the products are made in China, as they discuss here. But there's a range of, you know, acceptable stuff, so they still make it work. And then you think about all of the merch and stuff that Jeffree sells, which is like highly marked up mirrors and little goods that are mass made. Those are gonna have huge profit margins that enhance the value of the company. So he doesn't really talk about that. Like, what's the cost of goods for your Jeffree Star mirror that you sell for probably 15 bucks? Probably $1. So that's like a 1,400% markup. That's a lot. So I just think it's interesting to look at how, yeah, this is a docu-series made by somebody who's trying to sell their company as the best in the market, you know, and there's no counter opinions there.
We would front the cost to produce all of this. So if it fails, you put me in debt. And if it's that's scary.
If it's scary, then why is everyone else laughing at how it clearly wasn't a true statement? Again, there's almost no chance that this collaboration would fail because they're adding another person with a bigger audience on top of Jeffree Star's huge audience. Like at this time, Jeffree Star collections were selling out right away. Why wouldn't it when they collaborate with the biggest YouTuber on the platform at the time after a huge tee-up of 6 episodes online? It's baffling that he's trying to sell this as like a scary element, and to me it's like, move on. We don't need you to fill that particular part of the story with all of this emotional weight that isn't there. You can just like move on to the next interesting thing. Not like this is a boring topic.
And like you sold as much as blood sugar did, which I think you could past that, like you're in your first, I really think you can.
All right, then whatever you say, it's gonna fail horribly. Even if it did, the series is already well established without meaning to that a failed launch wouldn't take any money out of your pocket because JSC is fronting all of the costs. It won't hurt Jeffree Star's paycheck because he just took home $20 million from his last one, and it's not gonna put any of these employees out of a job or damage his business in the long term because he he just expanded and he has this merch thing. Like, it's a lot. What I'm saying is, even if this product launch weren't destined to be an automatic success, which it is, there would still be, by the movie's own admission, no need for the dramatic treatment of the events on screen. And I'm not saying no documentary like manipulates the events on screen to create the emotional narrative. That's the whole point. I think there's always a certain amount of story production in a documentary. I think there should be to make it interesting. I just think that the efforts were really misaligned and poorly placed throughout this. Like, don't let the soundtrack fool you. They are creating makeup palettes and not cancer-fighting robots. What I also love is that Jeffree Star is able to use this docuseries to freely admonish his competition, which is not illegal, but I mean, it's not unbiased either. For example, you can tell that his business partners really did not want to reveal the $20 cost of goods of his palette, because people are, no matter how much you educate people on cost of goods, people are gonna think that you're scamming them when they hear that. So they quickly back it up by being like, well, Kylie Cosmetics, they make, and James Charles, they make their stuff in China, so they probably charge $6. So all of a sudden they're like, oh, so you can drag someone else's name through the mud without really having their numbers or giving them a chance to say, oh, well, actually we sourced this or that. And then of course he does the same thing for Too Faced by bringing up, you know, a situation that never involved him.
They gave her a flat fee of $50,000. Brand went on to sell over $10 million of product, and probably more than that. I kind of let that secret out. Of course, Too Faced hates me.
Because you exposed the grossest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Exactly.
I can't believe Jeffree's direct business competition would do something as apparently disgusting as human genocide. Oh, they didn't offer Nikki Tutorials a back-end percentage as part of her unprecedented makeup collab? Quick, somebody call the Avengers. I'm not saying it didn't suck for Nikki Tutorials that she only got paid $50,000, and I don't think it's a bad thing that that information got out. You know, it's very interesting business insider stuff. Jeffree Star has made it his personal mission to make it known and to kind of, you know, devalue Too Faced on a personal basis because of that one thing. And it's like, yes, it seems unscrupulous, but also, like I said, I don't think anyone besides Nikki Tutorial ever got a makeup palette from a YouTube video. The Power of Makeup palette was based off of her Power of Makeup video that went, you know, mega viral. To me, like I said, this was pretty much an unprecedented makeup deal. The contract was what it was, and Nikki obviously did not have the representation she needed to ask for more, and obviously the company is not going to offer up a back-end percentage if someone doesn't ask for it, especially when they don't have other makeup collabs from the past or from other brands to point at and be like, well, this is what they do in the business. So there's a lot of different viewpoints that could come into play here, that we only get one side of the story. I'm not saying it makes, you know, what happened okay. I'm just saying that we've only heard Jeffree Star talking about it, and he has a vested interest in taking, you know, the negative side of the story. Next is when Shane finds out that he could be making more profit off of his merch sales.
So let's say we have a 70-30 deal. Let's say you're selling a shirt for, I'm gonna use $20.
Yep, there we go.
So you're actually getting $12 for that $20 shirt.
Wait, what? $12 per shirt?
Yes,
For
it's
me?
actually-
When you say 70-30, I get 30, you get 70.
You get 70.
That guy was like, did $12 sound like 30% of 20 to you? Or are you just trying to go back and play dumb so that people feel bad for you again? Shane was like, I don't think we made that point clear. Let me pretend I'm confused. I'm sorry, but after even just 1 year as a YouTube creator, Shane would know that almost any revenue split that somebody offers him as a business opportunity is going to be in his favor. Even if he was selling his t-shirts on Teespring, he would know that. Don't let Shane let you think he's confused about the fact that he's the one bringing 22 million subscribers to the table. Like, he's the one with the huge audience. And even if previously he was making less than 70% off of his merch sales, how much was it? Tell us. It just feels like he's trying to anticipate us as the viewers' reactions and like exaggerate those.
I actually feel like I'm gonna pass out and throw up.
I mean, look at it. Yeah, that's
This
crazy.
sucks.
I mean, this is a good thing, though.
I've been getting Oh. Thank you, I needed that.
Yeah, Shane's been really stressing himself out trying to spin this profitable business venture into a conflict somehow. You just showed a fan of yours walking out of Hot Topic with a t-shirt. Talk about that. I mean, you already said you've never sold anything before, but how much did you make per shirt there? Expose the numbers, expose the brands that cheated you. Get on the phone and be like, I'm gonna cancel this deal because I got a better offer somewhere else. Like, put your money where your mouth is. All of this is just like lip service. We're basically not watching a documentary needs to be I think, a lot of events, not a lot of conversations in a meeting room. It's like watching 12 Angry Men, but it's, you know, just 2. Shane is supposedly now realizing just how much, you know, money Jeffrey's making off of merch and now Sisters Apparel, which is Giam's Cholos merch. He's freaking out, or he's trying to act like it.
I'm so stupid. I've been on YouTube for so long, and I literally, in my 12 years on YouTube, I've never had anybody say, you deserve that.
I mean, you sort of said it about yourself. That was the whole message behind your short film, The Lottery. And I know because I watched it, and it was also a piece of garbage. Sorry, I should really be more sensitive towards Shane. Do we have a Medal of Honor for this man now that he's bravely admitted to being too stupid to negotiate for more money throughout his career? I'm just determined to feel sorry for him. Again, what are we talking about here? Shane could have been making $14 million instead of 13 this past year. Like, he's already rich. We've seen it. So now he's sitting here with his head in his hands, like people have been somehow robbing him while he's here, like getting makeup made. So now that Shane knows he's getting a little more money per t-shirt, he has to like find some privacy to really hit it home for us how big of a deal this is.
It's so funny because I don't want to like seem like I'm being dramatic or like whatever. If the camera wasn't here and if I was alone right now,
We'd be having the same conversation. I can tell.
yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm glad Andrew is here to tell us what would be happening in an alternate universe where there is no camera. It's a bad sign that Shane seems so eager to prove that he's not being over dramatic for the views. Maybe he senses that it's kind of gonna trend in that direction since he's currently having a panic attack on the restroom floor over making more money. And every time someone asks him what specifically he's anxious about, he acts like he's a murderer trying to come up with an alibi. People are like, Shane, what's wrong? It's just that I've never sold merch before. Well, I have, but never made money at it. Well, I have, but never this much. Well, I have, but never in a store. Well, I have, but nobody ever told me I deserved it. Like, what? Whoa. Okay, that's a lot of emotions for successful. And a lot of other channels have pointed out that he's crying over this money while wearing a Balenciaga sweatshirt. I don't know if he thought that that was like a satirical sort of dichotomy or if he's just that unaware of the optic. I think it's the second part.
I've sat in meetings with you and it's just the same thing. That's not how it works. That's not gonna happen. Give you this percent. And us coming back to the house and being like, yeah, I guess that's okay. And like, whatever. It was like the first time where it's like, wait a minute, that does kind of make sense.
Wait a minute, did that kind of make sense? He's like, oh yeah, I get why you're sad. It's because like other meetings, people are like, no, no, no. And in this meeting, they're like, yes, yes, yes. So just to keep score, so far we know that Jeffree Star spends more money on his products than other brands because he just cares about the customers so much. And he's not in it for the money. And then Shane told us that basically throughout his career, he's never been part of a fair business deal. T-shirts, book deals, sponsorships, those all literally took money out of his bank account. Honey.com came into his bedroom at night and pried the fillings out of his mouth. That's how he's been getting paid. So with all of that in mind, have these two people done enough to manipulate you into buying something from them yet? Are you compelled to shop? No? All right, fine, let's try this.
It just feels like this is so having a breakdown.
Oh my god, I can't believe I'm crying on the bathroom floor right now. It's so embarrassing. Oh, this is just so me. This is just so typically, authentically on brand for me. It's just so organically part of the thing. Andrew, do we have 4 minutes of that? Oh my god. We got it? Okay, is there enough room echo? Like, stop rubbing your eyes, you're gonna give yourself a sty. He's got blocked tear ducts or something because he's gouging at those sockets. At this point, you might as well stop filming and go wet your hands in the sink and slather some liquid on your face because that's how fake you're being. You're trying to convince Andrew too? Andrew's like, oh yeah, I get why you're reacting this way, even though I don't.
Have you been crying? Yes, you have. Oh my god, your eyes are like me after Nate has 5 minutes alone.
Me after Nate has a midnight. Nate and we do the. Okay, take your time, girl. We'll let you think of something borderline offensive to say in front of all your employees. You're the one signing the checks after all. That's probably why they put up with it. That's me and Nate after improv.
It's like, it just feels, it looks so fake. It's so not fake.
Would someone who isn't being fake have to keep insisting that they aren't being fake? It seems like someone who didn't have anything to prove wouldn't be working so hard to convince everyone. Disclaimer, I am not technically a criminal psychologist, although I did once have an intimate dinner conversation with a man who later stole from me, so It's very similar. Shane and Jeffree are having a heart-to-heart now because Jeffree is like, I've been in that situation too where people really took advantage of me in my past music career. And it's true. Shane and Jeffree have both victimized themselves over their early lives. I get it, like we all come from challenges. Even if you had money growing up, you probably had challenges to get, you know, the success or the happiness or the joy that you have now. But I mean, some people look at their past experiences as something like a hero's journey. Like I surmounted those struggles. I came over them. I kept fighting, I kept working, and here I am. For some reason with Shane and Jeffree, it all kind of sounds like they tried to keep me down and they still try to keep me down, but I just keep a brave face. You know, like it's always Jackie O right after the assassination and never like you're George Washington crossing the river or whatever. Why did I get US history on your ass right now? I just went into the grassy knolls and talked about it. Anyway, Shane is picking out colors. Like, baby, these are the only interesting parts. Like, just show me the goddamn makeup.
I'm gonna freak out. Are we gonna be in a store? I'm literally touching myself. I'm literally.
My main takeaway from this series is that Jeffree Star's employees probably do not get paid enough to have to put up with him and his friends every day. These people just want to do a job and support their families, and then Shane Dawson kicks down the door and starts spraying root beer scented piss all over the room. Again, I can relate because I used to work, there were like 2 beauty brands in the past where the owner / namesake of the brand, they were big personalities, and it was like a lot of what you did every day was based on the whim of them and their drama. It's stressful. Cosmetics is a stressful job, and the idea of working with an influencer to create a product, it sounds like a nightmare, frankly.
I think it would be really cool and smart to keep it special and just have it be us and Morphe. But I also then will need to have a conversation with the Morphe team and let them know if we do an exclusive with...
Not this pointless viewfinder overlay that has never been used before. Is it supposed to just explain away the fact that Andrew is holding the camera vertically for a few seconds? He's not even saying anything there that's interesting. It's literally just style, no substance. Someone pointed out in my previous videos comments that Andrew actually did edit this, and that's great too. Shane starts talking about his shade names, like he wants to name one after the Xanax pills that he likes to take. That's great. That's great for kids. There's one for, are you filming?
Are you filming?
I was about to say, because we don't say action. You asked me if we're filming, and then I started.
Wait, okay.
It's always been a pet peeve of mine. YouTubers always say filming. I'm filming YouTube videos. I'm filming YouTube videos. If you're not using a film camera, you're not filming. I had a teacher in 9th grade who was always all about that. He's like, you're shooting on digital video. You're recording or you're shooting. For what kind of film are you shooting on? Are you shooting on 35mm, 16mm, 8mm? What kind of lens? So then we'd be like, all right, fine, I'm not filming. But, you know, I have to be less strict about words. Words, who cares? They're finding signs everywhere that this is gonna be a great venture. You know, signs outside the fact that millions of people are already asking for them to release it.
Oh my god, that's a sign. That's literally a sign.
Oh my god. Weird, man.
Trust is the union of intelligence and integrity. That's literally...
Vague enough to be about anything? I agree. You know the documentary is in a bad place when we're spending this much time trying to read signs in regular street garbage.
Why is it in my parking lot? Like, whose is that?
It belonged to Mike from Supply Chain, and it fell out of his teacup when he got into his car one night. Hopefully knowing its origin makes this all seem a lot less dysregulating than it apparently is for you all. They're all like, are they watching us now? Can they see us right now? Like, what are you freaking out? It's a tea bag in the office. Like, do they not know those little proverbs are printed on every one? I can't with these two. This is gonna be a long, we have 4 more episodes after this. Sister, I'm gonna take a little bit of a break from these Shane videos, not from making videos altogether.
Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, it's cool to see you do, like, put your creative mind to something else. It's cool. And then, like, with Jeffree.
Yeah, well said, Andrew. Thanks for that. Anyway, can we be done? So Shane gets some makeup and he starts playing around with it, trying to figure out more makeup. Like, I thought we already saw him playing with makeup before. I don't want to see any more of this.
Because you're actually offended because this is real and you're taking it fully serious, and it's like a cash grab. You could have done a million things before you even met me to do cash grab.
Yeah, like you could have written another book or made another movie. Those are 2 cash grabs you've done in the past. But you're right, this is a new one. This is a new type of one. There's literally right here like 2 minutes of them rubbing highlighters on their arms. I'm like, whoa, 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 look at that one, whoa. It's glitter, it's glitter. You're not even putting it on your face. We could watch these swatches of Jeffree Star products anywhere. Just watching Shane Dawson understand what highlighters are for the first time is not interesting.
You did. Whoa, that's crazy. You actually just got goosebumps.
Wait, you mean he wasn't exaggerating when he said his skin got cold? Andrew, are you getting a close-up on this? Are you rolling on his bumpy skin? This is such trash. Like, I wouldn't even be interested in what these people were talking about if I were physically there hanging out with them. I would be like, can one of you guys give me a ride home? Actually, you're talking a lot. Just fuck it, I'll walk through the desert. There's so much filler. Spending his time. The Laura Lee controversy. Laura Lee like fake cried, and I'm like, that's an interesting thing to be talking about. Since Shane Dawson was just like, I can't believe how not fake this is. I know it looks so fake, but that's because it's so real.
Also, my cat had 1 tear last night.
Oh, that's more tears than Laura Lee.
The bar for throwing shade is so low. Jeffree Star can say basically anything before taking a sip of his Red Bull, and people freak out like Lady Gaga just stepped out of her hotel building. Yes, Jeffree, you f***ing slay. You said that that person looked like that cat from that thing that happened. Yeah. Like, you look like a f***ing corn snake. What are you talking shit for? That's a lot of big talk for someone who had to create a cruelty-free makeup line. Otherwise, the lab would think that he's the animal they're supposed to test lipsticks on. Yes, Jeffree, that's on shade. Oh, I hit the camera. And that's all we wrote for episode 2, The Secrets of the Beauty World from the Beautiful World of Jeffree Star. The title structure on this is a little confusing as well, but I'm not even gonna go into that. We have next video to talk about it. But let me know what your thoughts are on the Shane Dawson series so far. You don't have to let me know that you don't want me to do any more Shane Dawson videos because I just told you I'm doing 4 more, so save that comment. But say something else that is interesting instead. Or give this video a big thumbs up to let me know that you wanna see even more clip breakdowns like this. But most importantly, if you're new to my channel, I would love to have you click that subscribe button right over here. That way you never miss new videos from me. I upload 2 new ones every week, so turn on notifications and you'll always be the first to know when we got a corn snake slithering into your inbox, baby. Also, I've got merch available and a Patreon where you can access exclusive episodes and bonus content. You guys are all the greatest. Thank you so much for getting into the beauty secrets with me. I will see you next time.